Ooh, there you are. I'm so happy you could make it. So, I just got off work and I am starting to render this drawing. I already started her neck just a tiny little bit because I wanted to test it out, but I thought I would film the process and take you along with me on the journey and maybe talk about some things. So, yeah, let's do it.
You know what I was thinking? Life has quite an interesting way of unfolding. One minute you're a child without a care in the world, and in the next minute you're all grown up, wondering where all that time went. Sometimes they seem to be bleeding into one another, and life is just, I don't know, a big wave that we're all riding in the hopes of not sinking. You wake up, work, go home, make food, go sleep, wake up, rinse and repeat. Sometimes it does seem like that's all that is to adult life. I don't know about you, but when I first started my full time job and the excitement washed off, I could not help but feel like a caged bird or like, I don't know, one of those flies stuck on sticky tape. I thought it was just an adjustment period, really, that the feeling would go away. Kind of like when you came back to school after the summer break. The feeling sort of went away a bit, meaning that I'm no longer sad or angry, but I was just hollow. Nothing to look forward to, except for the minute that brings me closer to going home. Well, that is until I found my passion for art again. I truly believe that in order to have a good life, you must do something you are passionate about. Paint, sing, learn science, collect rocks. I mean, the world is your oyster, really. However, most of us don't have the privilege to do what we are passionate about for a living, so you need to balance your job with your passion. And that is a real pickle I've been trying to tackle since I started work. I would go as far as to think that it is the same reason why you're here. Well, if that's the case, I might have some tips that will help you have a smoother journey than mine. My first tip is focus on presence and not on perfection. This is about the fact that truly a lot of the activities that you engage in are muscle memory. And after you come back to your passions, post a long break, you will not be as good as where you left off, most likely. And that is fine. But it doesn't change the fact that it is frustrating, especially because I guess it's something that you're attached to and gives you meaning and contributes to who you are as a person. Now, I know that a lot of people say just leave behind the wish for everything to turn out nicely, but in my experience, it's just pointless advice because the wish to do something that you care about nicely is just an intrinsic part of us. Changing this mindset is very hard, especially when you start off, especially after a long break. Although it is good to push in order to become better, it's really demoralizing in the beginning and it can stop you from actually trying. Instead, what I would recommend is creating an environment where failure is expected and encouraged. So, for example, you can take an online course or watch a tutorial or take a class. It really creates a safety net, especially in the beginning, because you have this set of instructions that you can follow again and again. You can fail at them again and again, and you can revisit them and tweak your process. It really serves as a confidence booster and a good exercise to warm up, especially if you are rusty after a long break. Besides that, it also helps with making you more present because you don't have to think about so many things. These are honestly like your 10 minutes a day or your 10 minutes a week just for yourself, just you and your passion. So take it in, soak it in, bask in it. This is crucial, especially in the beginning, because it will help you build your confidence and it will really help you reach your potential and get you more comfortable. My second tip is to stop the Grindset. Look, I know you and we still need to do a lot of things outside of work, like commuting, cleaning, cooking, or taking care of others. In reality, time is limited, very limited if you have a full-time job, and it is only normal to want to maximize the little time you have. However, I know that a lot of productivity media says, oh, if you have a passion, do it at every possible moment in time. Do it while you're commuting. Do it while you have a spare 2-3 minutes in your day. This is especially the case if you want to turn your passion into a living. However, you need to understand that this might not work for you, especially straight off the bat. If you feel hollow in a Grindset culture at work, do you think that applying the same Grindset at home with your passion will make you feel better? It won't. Or at least in my experience, it didn't help. Instead, in the beginning, do not focus on quantity or frequency, but rather on regularity. Make it regular. Once a day for 10 minutes, once a week for 10 minutes, it genuinely does not matter. It just matters that you make a habit out of it. At first, find your pace, find your patterns, and start from there. You cannot just ramp it up to 1,000 straight from the beginning. It's not possible and it's not sustainable. However, once you start with it and you get comfortable and manage to get past your limiting beliefs, you will have some wiggle room and you will really realize where you can add more, where you can subtract, and get into a good place for you. Honestly, it's just important to do it whenever you want. For me, a good rule of thumb is not doing it every day or the quantity of my output, but actually thinking, if tonight will be the last time I close my eyes, will I be happy with what I have done? And if the answer is no, I think, okay, what can I do? And if that, in my case, is drawing, my passion, then that's okay, I can take 10 minutes in bed before I sleep and I draw and I'm happy, even if it is a small doodle. Now, for the last one, you will think it's a no-brainer, and it's fine if you do think so, but I think it's the most important. And the tip is to accept your passion. Again, I know it seems silly when said out loud. Obviously, accept your passion. What do you mean? But I think there is an unspoken rule in society that hobbies or passion are something that is valid only for children, and then the other part of the population is supposed to only be passionate about work. When I first started rediscovering my passion, it was so difficult to get over the feeling that my art is silly or futile. And it really represented a blocker for me for getting back into drawing. And so I started reflecting on it. And in my own reflection, I realized that this feeling came from the belief that anything I did had to somehow link back to my work and being more productive. You do training in your working field to be better, to make more money. You get good sleep so that you're rested and you're more productive at work, so you make more money. Same with exercise, same with food, all of that. It somehow, it implicitly has to link back to money for it to be valid in the eyes of society. Not happier, but more productive, more profitable. At least that's how it was in my experience. But let me say this once out loud and very clear. Your passion, whatever it is valid. It is valid because it means something to you. It is what brings you peace. It is something you come to even after failing at it and becoming frustrated. It is an intrinsic part of you. It doesn't matter if it brings your workplace more money, it doesn't matter if it contributes to the wider economy. It matters to you, and so it is valid for you. Regarding this, my tip, and I think this is the most important out of everything that I've said, is just really take some time and really reflect on why you might not fully accept your passion. It can be linked to loads of things like your upbringing or cultural standards or your own ingrained perceptions about how you should act as an adult. Now, after you've done some reflection, write it down and really think it through. And next to it, write down how you feel when you're pursuing your passion. Write your feelings, your thoughts, the outcomes. Leave that piece of paper for a bit, one day, and then take it back up again and read those things side to side, your limiting beliefs about why you should not be doing this, and then how you're feeling while you're doing it. It's really going to be an eye-opener. Trust me. Just ask yourself, like, is it really worth missing all of those things for some beliefs that you were probably forced into? And again, this is not sort of like a, oh, kumbaya moment. This is my passion. I'm going to drop everything and pursue it. You know, this is not a coming of age movie, right? But the point of this exercise is to give yourself a standing point and a reflection point to see that there are some beliefs that are holding you back from truly accepting the fact that, you know, you're not just a money-making machine, you're not just a role in society, but you are a person, a fully fledged person. And shocker, people do have passions and things that they care about and things that bring them joy, and that might not be related to where their income is coming from. Again, this is my most important tip and what I found really was holding me back all of this time. And I wanted to share this with you because I think it's going to make the biggest impact out of everything I've said up until now. Okay, that is enough talking from me. Now it is over to you. I'm really interested to hear your thoughts. I think it's a really important topic to talk about. A lot of people don't talk about it, but, you know, our passions are what makes us us. And unfortunately, you know, most people cannot do their passions as their job. So we need to find time to engage in them in those spare moments that we have. Anyways, thank you for coming over. I hope this has been useful, and I will leave you to it to see what I managed to draw while we were talking. I hope to see you again soon.